Hey guys, it's the History Nerd, and we're back with another exciting episode of Stellaris. Where we last left off, we started pushing a little bit east with our colony on Thebes. And we're pushing out to see if we can find out what else is going on in the grand old galaxy that we happen to live in. What do we get? Stellaris, I'm guessing you're moving on to greater places. Excellent. We got some unemployment to deal with on Mindos. Really? You guys have really turned it around. I'm proud of you. Making the Human Galactic Union very proud. And very pleased. I think what we'll want to slap in here, if we've got it, is a power hub. Getting those next to your cities is always a good idea. Although looking at it, might make more sense to put the power hub here, because we got some power there. So let's clear that tile out. And remember that for the future. There's not much we can build on Thebes. Earth is looking beautiful. And Ashur is growing. You know, it's definitely doing its thing. We could definitely get them a farm so they can grow a bit more. I feel like that might be a good idea. And there's plenty of minerals on this planet here already that I think we could sacrifice one of them. Although it looks like, first off, we've got quite a few other buildings to build. So hopefully we'll get there soon.
Project complete.
Abduction teams from our observation post above Gal Suposik have worked in concert with the crew of the From Beyond to quickly gather the Hydri test subjects with the faulty brain implants. The From Beyond, is that the taco truck? It is. The observation post surgical staff replaced the implants with functional versions, and the subjects have been returned to the planet's surface. As an added bonus, Science Officer Connor Evans Jr. managed to extract a wealth of data from the improved implants, despite their defects. Well, good, at least we got something out of that. 250 society research? That's, I would argue, a little more than something.
Research complete.
So now what are you doing, taco truck? You're going off to explore Canaro 2. Well, Canaro, I guess. Starting with Canaro 2. Carino? Ugh. Pronunciation. What does it matter? We got some texts to select. Why? Ooh, that's why not. That is big. We'll get Tropical World. Because I think we got a few of those kicking around, don't we? Ocean, desert, ocean, Arctic, tropical, but it's within the lands of my vassals, so I don't think I can colonize in there. You might be able to share space like that. In fact, yeah, you should be able to share space like that. I could be standing corrected momentarily. We got ocean. So with that there, you know, we can start maybe looking at developing, and some tropical out there too, start developing a sector out of this space. That is going to be pretty far in the future. The lack of continental worlds is really starting to eat into us, though. So, I mean, even if we find something out here, it's kind of pointless. I wouldn't say pointless, but it might be better to at least take the Jurassic Quark, and maybe even the taco truck as well, out here, because we can actually potentially grab more land out here, although, you know, we'll probably hit another empire at some point. We got quite a few up in here. I imagine some of these have popped up due to... Oh no, nah, he is dead! Oh dear. That really sucks, because you were doing our graveyard expedition. Okay, let's see. Ernesto Velasco can take over command of the Jurassic Quark. Although he's going to be going soon too, even with the increased lifespan. But we'll get him in here, so at least they can continue their researching. The fish and chips will get a new site. Well, who's in the taco truck? Connor Evans Jr. He can stay in command of the taco truck, and we will get Ludmila Yurzov here to command the fish and chips. So, Jurassic Quark, fish and chips, you should still be able to continue your scan, and you can, and we've got a lovely, my word, that is just a beautiful planet. We should probably colonize that as soon as we can. Hopefully there's some more around here, and I don't really know how either of these empires would react to humanity coming along and just being like, mine now. We have no idea what these guys live on. But it's probably, looking at the picture, not continental, and that looks like jungle. So I think we might be okay. First Strike Force is fully repaired. We've got the Habsburg Revenge class, so the upgrade took quite easily. I'm pleased about that. And we might as well, I mean, is there a reason to clear that? There's not really a reason to clear that. What about up here? Arctic and Tundra, could do without. Crystalline entities around a desert world, although that... Right, I was looking at doing something over here. I'd rather just have that be taken care of with border growth, though. We just don't know enough about this stuff. We got a few more continental worlds here. So it's not looking as depressing as it was before. The team under Science Officer Ernesto Velasco has finished their expedition on Yobhanir 4 and returned to the Jurassic Quark. Thankfully, the starship graveyard on the surface proved to be a technological treasure trove. What is going on with my stomach? Studying the remains of these vessels has advanced our research in certain fields by several years, and there are yet things to discover. A permanent science outpost in orbit would be a great boon to our starship engineering efforts. Yes, indeed it would. And it's even got a tomb world. Isn't that nice? Apparently there are special events for inhabiting a tomb world. I haven't ever colonized one, except for the uplifting of cockroaches, but I don't think that really counts, because they were meant to live on that tomb world. So, how are things looking? That's just too far away. If there's some more up around here, we might look to getting like a springing off, a sort of, you know, enclave of humanity way up in the galactic core. We shall see if that turns out to be a good idea, or even a feasible idea, come to think of it. Energy credits full. Excellent. I like that. We are only making 7 a turn, though, so we can't go too crazy with, say, mining installations, obviously, except, of course, in the case of power installations, in which case it's probably not a bad idea. Let's check on our sector and see how they're doing. They could definitely use with a boost in mineral production. And again, we'll allow them to redevelop things. The Clark beta patch has been released, but I am not running it. So I don't know if we'll take the veteran. Well, I know for a fact that none of the changes are going to be in currently, and I'm kind of conflicted about what to do with all of the patching that's going to be happening. I'm kind of leaning towards doing a new, like a restart, doing a new series in Stellaris. It depends on how much changes. But I mean, there's sort of selfish reasons behind that too. I really wouldn't mind not being limited by warp anymore. But that is my own fault. I fully admit to that. And I sort of knew going in. But, you know, it's not until you get a big galactic empire that you realize how long warp takes. It's slow. Of course, we're playing it on speed 1. That could play into it a bit. Have we got another... Not... Oh, okay. Well, keep looking then. I'll come back to that at a later date. Moving on to Tedesco. Getting some good visibility up in here. This is potentially promising with the amount of systems that are here. Canero's done, so the taco truck. I think we'll just fling the taco truck out as far as it can go, and then we'll have the Jurassic Quark come in and follow it once it's done in Maya. Which is looking like a good mining system. But that's kind of the plan for the next conceivable future. Obviously, a war with these guys is going to be happening sooner than later. Before we go to war with them, though, I really wouldn't mind getting destroyers built up. I think that would be helpful, although we are equivalent, and their fleet power is inferior, and we've got plenty of fleet room to boost it up. So what are we sitting at now? 32 Corvettes? Let's make that 34 Corvettes, shall we?
System survey complete.
Maya's done. Lovely. Oh, the taco truck's coming in. So we got the taco truck going that way. We'll take the Jurassic Quark and send you right there. We can start exploring the Taijanok expanse and just seeing what's beyond.
Construction complete.
This turned out pretty weak, although I guess we could probably send the fleet out there. Are you not above Sol? You're not. Well, that's why those things aren't working. Well, we need to head out this way anyway. I suppose clearing out the crystalline entities here would probably not be a bad idea, but I don't think they're gonna provide us any colonizable planets. Maybe we'll clear the mining drones out here,
Construction complete.
because then that at least would give us 2 more planets up here to colonize and start spreading. So let's go and do that. Merge the fleets together, and then we can start doing fun things out here. We'll send the taco truck back down to survey Gidzarak. We got Tropical World, Tundra World. Well, you can go here for now, because it will take a moment or two for our fleet to catch up.
Research complete.
Cold fusion reactors, I like. Oh, warp 2. We'll do it. More. Really? Okay, head there. And the fleet should be getting close to merging. Get moving, come on.
System survey complete.
Alright, well let's just go in a nice little circle to check these systems out. Hopefully find something worth having. You're continuing on, that's fine. Fleet's ready, head over that way. And I'm going to be back when we get there. See you guys in a bit. Alright, so it was pretty standard cleanup, just some mining drones. Didn't take much or anything at all really in the way of damage. We're still going to send the fleet home to repair, and we're sending the taco truck in to research and then survey the system. Research the debris first. We've also got destroyer research coming along on the way. We're done tropical research, which is good. I'm glad. You know, otherwise I wouldn't have been researching it. We'll get naval capacity up a little bit. But I had confused myself and I thought we were researching ocean colonizing. Still though, tropical worlds, those will do good enough, I guess, except for maybe this one in particular, which, well, that's an ocean world that we could just invade if we wanted to. Except for this place, which, although the atmospheric aphrodisiac, who wouldn't want that? The high gravity is a bit of a concern, though. So, oh, but look at that planet. That is a good looking planet. We might snag that. That'll be good for the sector. I mean, I won't have to actually deal with any of that. So that might not be a bad idea. You know, once we get... Unfortunately, it'll take a while for these two colonies to grow so that they're touching without getting ocean worlds researched as well. So that's kind of the priority. One of the reasons I went with naval capacity. Will be done it quick, and so we'll get a fresh shuffle of the tech choices. Looks like... Who is this? Looks like Ludmilla got herself a custom AI assistant, so she'll have fun times doing her galactic core research.
System survey
It's not
complete.
looking all that
Anomaly
great.
found.
Yeah, you can research that. In the way of potential planets out here, let's head out there. I don't think that there's really anything worth colonizing there. Well, there's nothing worth colonizing there. I'd like to find a habitable planet somewhere close. We got a tundra world that's so far from being habitable for me. You know, it's too far. I don't really have a follow-up to that, and I do apologize profusely. But once we get Warp Drive 2 researched, I will go in and well, we'll get that taken care of. But I'll go in, upgrade the warp drives on everything, and the thrusters on everything, and then, you know, upgrade the fleet. What was previously thought to be assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere of Cossack 2A have been identified as the massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Cossack 2A could have supported life on that scale at any point in the moon's history. Science officer Ernesto Velasco has prepared a special research project to delve further into this mystery.
Situation log updated.
Ernesto, you research that right away, and then you can finish surveying this system. Well, let's see what we can learn about these gigantic aliens. The taco truck doing its thing. Fish and chips doing its thing. Jurassic Quark doing its thing. Everything's going along smoothly. It looks like, potentially, anyway. And I think we might want to start looking around to see if we can make some friends. And the Andorran Star Nation, well, they're certainly not the biggest empire out here. They're certainly one of the friendliest. So it looks like, other than our vassals, of course, what about the Hazar Imperium? Mushroom heads are not fans of us. The Andorran Star League, we have a diplomat or an embassy with. Lovely. They're friends with these guys, and we've got an embassy with them. Lovely. But nobody is really looking like they want me to join the alliance. I just need to get that attitude up higher, and the threat is really what's stopping this. So how can we make friends? We could ask to be their vassal. I don't really think that's necessarily a good idea. We'll go... Oh, okay. You know what? As a show of trust, and these guys too. Oh, you'll just take that? There. We're proving to our galactic neighbors that we are indeed good people. Your terms are reasonable. Well, I would imagine I'm promising not to attack you, well, not holding you to the same promise, and giving you money. It should be pretty clear here that I'm no threat. And these guys, they're just like, hey, you don't want to fight? All right. So we're still not quite there, but we have improved things a little bit. So getting those guys into the alliance might not be a bad idea. Of course, what we might want to do first is get into our own little war to make sure we can grab all the things we want to grab. Or, conversely, make sure we want to, I don't know, potentially liberate the systems we want to liberate. If we can fracture our neighbors to the point of not being able to offer too much of a resistance, that's never a bad thing. But before we do that, let's just take a quick look at our colonies, because these guys could probably use some work. And indeed, yes, they can. What we're going to do, we're going to go on a nice big power plant building spree. So let's get a power plant up there. Let's get a power plant going here. At some point, we'll want to build a power hub, and it'll probably be here, actually, so we can clear that tile out as well. That takes care of Asher. Let's take a look at Mindos, which is, for the first time in its history, doing fairly well. We got a military academy, so that's great news there. What else could we potentially want here? Well, we're going to need some power, and we're working on getting it, but we can swap the unemployed for the unemployed. Swap. And then slap down a power hub there. I like having the power hub adjacent to the planetary administration, just for reasons. I think it boosts. Well, I know adjacency bonuses do exist, as we can clearly see here. The adjacent planetary administration +1, so that helps that farm feed the people it needs to. And then on our newest edition, we definitely have things to do, but we don't really have the space to do them in. Our food is fine. We don't really need to worry about minerals, because we're making plenty. So let's get some more power up, and then that should be good. Let's take a look at our sectors again. We'll get them up there to a nice number,
Analyzed.
taxing them at a fairly decent rate. And I'm thinking sooner than later we'll probably want to switch their focus over to military installations, because I think that is the most balanced way to do things. What we could also do, though, now that we've got tropical colonization, and that is a very nice looking planet, I think we're going to get some humans actually living in the Hulfer sector instead of just,
System survey.
the Hulfer people. Because I don't think we've got anybody here yet, do we? We certainly don't on Tundra Worlds, and I think that's their
Special
base,
project
isn't it?
Complete.
Let's double check that. Yeah, so let's get some humans in this sector. I think that seems like a very good idea. While we're at it, there, build colony ship with them. Yes, there we go. After continued studies of the massive skeletal remains found on Cossack 2A, Science Officer Ernesto Velasco has concluded that the creature served as some kind of organic starship. Much smaller bones from at least 3 separate species were found within the larger skeleton, and we assume these came from members of the crew. For unknown reasons, this organic starship suffered catastrophic damage and crash-landed on Cossack 2A. While we cannot begin to understand the biological engineering necessary to grow a starship like this, the study of these bones alone have substantially advanced our knowledge. Yay! And so wherever Ernesto is, we got a nice little research planet up way out in the middle of nowhere. Let's see what's going on here. I'm confused.
Construction complete.
I guess they're your friends? I don't understand why those crystalline entities are not attacking me. But they certainly don't appear to want to attack me, and I don't think we've got any new contacts here. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But there's something afoot. What do we got? Debris, good. That system surveyed.
Complete.
We aim to establish an embassy for the betterment of Lolhindrian human diplomacy. Well, floating gas bags, you're okay in my book. Ocean World, there we go. That's what I was looking for. 45 months away. Long enough. Got the fleet repairing. And are you guys liking me enough now? Maybe. Maybe not you. But what about you, gas bags? You are so much closer. Now, I don't know if these guys are willing to invite me, if that will play into these guys being willing to vote me in. But we'll see. You know, what's the worst that could happen? They say no, and then we go and attack these guys. Anyway, speaking of, I want to consider our plan of attack. And I'm toying with the idea of doing 2 different fleets. Why split the fleet? History nerd. Doom fleets, Doom stacks, they're the way to go. Well, I think I'd want to split it because we could hit more than one target at a time. Specifically, taking a look at the way their empire is set up. We know they've got colonies, we know they've got 5 of them, but they've got all these other systems where we know for a fact they have mining stations set up. And I want to...
complete.
How to put it? Relieve them of having to waste materials on upkeeping stations.
System survey complete.
Because that can be a real drain on the economy. There we go. That seems like a decent enough reason, right? We're doing this for their economic well-being. So what I'd want to do is send the main fleet in, the first strike fleet, the one with all the corvettes and the Mogami, to hit the main colonies, obviously, take out their space stations, engage their fleet if we can, and just march up through and take care of that. I'd want a smaller, quicker fleet of just corvettes to go through and pop out their mining stations. So, to achieve this, we should start building some corvettes. But some extra corvettes. So, to keep this easy and to keep... just enter orbit. To keep the fleet separate, we're going to have our other colonies be the ones building the corvettes. To do that effectively, we might as well get some corvette shipyards up, which means we're going to have to do some shipyard upgrading. And in the case of Thebes, building, but I think we can avoid Thebes for now. They're still... That is definitely not it. They're still a young colony. They're not ready. Well, they're almost ready to pop. So, yeah, we got enough so we could swap this over to minerals. Yes. And then once she's growing, we can swap that over to minerals as well. But yeah, I'm thinking like a dozen corvettes should be enough to take on mining stations. I think. I've not really tried it before, but it's been a theory of mine that I've been dreaming up, just never really put it into practice. So, we'll see. You know, like I say, what's the worst that can happen? Do we want to help out our sectors with some mining stations? We might want to help out our sectors with some research stations.
System survey complete.
Over there. Because it's going to be a while before they get a constructor up. So if we can do that... Fish and chips. You're sitting around doing nothing. What'd you discover? A relatively nice tropical world. Who died? Arch and David Morgan. Oh no. Our leader died. Well, that's okay. We've got our elections going on, and the only person who's running, the only person we can actually get, is Nishimura. So there's no real point in wasting influence. We'll just let Nishimura take command, and then find a new admiral for the First Strike Force. Not a problem. Let's grab the fish and chips and continue the survey. Although, like I say, I don't think there's going to be any worlds there. We'll see. We'll see if my theory holds true. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because the entire star system is within our survey range. And so we've got medium intelligence level. And indeed, yes, it doesn't look like there's any livable systems there. So let's head this way. We know up towards this direction is just going to put us into conflict with the Colverancian Foundation. Leave that for now. So we're just going to avoid that as best we can. And oh, look at that. We got some serious tropical worlds here. I might expand the whole Fear sector to include this too.
Updated.
Okay, so we've got another empire discovered somewhere up here. I don't know how we're getting so much intel from up here and like nothing from here. Maybe there's nothing over here to see. We'll find out soon enough. What do we got? Jurassic Quark. That sector's been fully researched, and the ocean world beneath. Where to take you now? I guess just continue on. Follow the Quark. Yep. That is as expected. He is out of uniform now, though. I guess he's a political leader, so that makes sense. We'll get that built. Corvette assembly lards. Corvette assembly lards. Just imagine that for a moment. Assembling a Corvette with lard. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know why I find that so amusing. Here's my butter Corvette. Anyway, we'll get this colony ship done. The Athena. She'll come over here. And humans are moving on into the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. I think there looks like a very good spot. Bonuses all around. Let's get that done. And once we get that settled, we won't ever have to worry about it again. That's just in the hands of the sector. Alright, spaceport on Earth is done, so we can probably get this shipyard built. Oh no, I don't want Corvette. Well, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll take the first fleet, and we will send them... Sure, we'll send them into Hullfast. There we go, that seems like a good idea. Enter orbit. And then we can just start getting some Corvettes built. And once you're done your Corvette assembly yard, we can get that. Actually, let's just add one more to each build list. And then that'll be 12 Corvettes, which should be enough to take on any mining stations or other assorted stations they have built up, provided there's no serious defense stations or anything like that. Juma! Tropical world. Alright, well let's push out this way. Also, fleet. Whatever you do, oh yeah, you're just moving, okay. You're done, so let's send you there. A level, really? You can't? Did I tell you to skip this for no good reason? 30%, what is this? One and only one interesting geological feature. Well, that does seem odd, doesn't it? But I don't necessarily want to fail that. The creator's done building some of the research stations, but there's quite a lot of engineering research to go there. So that's fine. 13 months away from Warp Drive 2. And then we can get the fleet upgraded and have ourselves in a relatively good position to push off into the war. Ooh, I should definitely get that. I should definitely get that for Earth, because Earth could always use better power plants. Pitiful creatures, know that we roamed the stars for eons before your hapless species-mastered spaceflight. If any of your wretched little ships cross into our space, do not expect them to return. You know what? You'll find yourself no match for us. Bloody fallen empire. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be pushing north anytime soon. And in fact, we can probably pull one of our science ships home. So let's get the Jurassic Quark to instead assist research on Earth. And then you can, well, yeah, you can finish up surveying the border regions here. It's a nasty warp path that this routing is taking, but they'll find their way eventually.
Construction complete.
And I was kind of expecting to hit a fallen empire
complete.
somewhere in this area, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. There are a few colonizable planets that we can snag, but there's still, I mean, there's not a lot. Even tech-wise, you know, like Arctic. Oh! I don't know why I didn't think of that. These guys aren't enslaved. We could use them to colonize planets that we can't live on. Planets like Arctic planets. Oh my, that changes this whole little southern sector completely then, doesn't it? Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to leave the video here for today. I'm going to leave it up to you guys, the focus that the Human Galactic Union is going to take over the next few episodes, because we're kind of at a crossroads here. We're building up alliances, which is good. We want friends, obviously. We've got a clear military target that we can go after. These guys here. The Ganlerev Interplanetary League, they could be, you know, much like the second edition of the Hulfier League. We'll probably give Bazanek to the Hulfiers, though, because, I mean, really, they deserve it. Or we can, using our new citizens from the Hulfier League, and, of course, our own technology, we can get a sector built up over here, and potentially soon-ish over here as well. So, what direction are we going to take? Are we going to go to war, or are we going to peacefully expand and build up the Human Galactic Union to be even stronger before we start striking out? Yeah. We're not going to attack the Fallen Empire. Maybe not ever. We'll have to see how it goes. But I think that's really the two directions we can take. The peaceful approach to just colonizing and building up, or go straight to war. That's up to you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see. I mean, I have a feeling war is going to win this vote, but you never know. You never know. And really, to make a case for the colonizing, it would build up our empire. So there's that. You know, we could become even stronger than we are. We're pretty strong, but we could become stronger. And that's always good. So let me know what you guys want to see. On that note, thumbs up if you have enjoyed the video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.